Hello, everyone. It's the McNishes. Let's bring that down. And let's wait to see if anyone is here. I think I might turn this light off. Ah, yes, that's better. Julie, where would I see people commenting? There's one viewer.
I don't know if that's not the place where I'm starting to get recorded while I'm looking for stuff.
Yes, I know I'm live. I know there is a viewer here. So, let's see. Chat. There we go. Chat is now open. Hello, everyone. It is 2:04 now. And we have one viewer, according to and I will, oh, we have two viewers. That is a good thing. It is a happy thing. Let's see if we can put me more in the middle so I'm not. Two viewers. Let me type in hello. And see if anyone is there to say hello back. Hopefully you can hear me. And we wait. We're coming to you from beautiful downtown Roanoke, Virginia. The Grandin Village area of Roanoke, Virginia. We're 3 viewers now. And no, we're back down to 2 viewers. Someone saw my ugly face and said, "Oh no, I'm not today." Oh, we're down to 1 viewer. And we are hoping, maybe what I can do is go on Patreon and see if anyone is.
Paige is there, Karen Happy is there, Michelle is there.
Oh, okay. So there are
They're commenting too.
Really? So I just, I don't see the comment section here for some reason. Maybe you can read me their comments.
Just said they're here.
Oh.
Let's see, wait.
I feel like Fraser Crane and you're Roz Doyle in the other room. We're back up to 3 viewers.
Michelle said she can see and hear you. Jenny can see and hear you, but can't talk to you.
Right. Oh. If you hit on the top left hand of your screen is where I found it. There's a button that says chat. If you hit that, then the chat bar will come up on your right hand side of the screen, and you can type in any questions or comments.
Karen can see and hear you.
Okay, good. We're up to 5 viewers. I'm beginning to feel famous.
Well, they're not supposed to be able to talk, are they?
They're supposed to be able to type,
Yeah.
type something.
They can't talk.
Well, where are you getting their comments from?
They're just showing up as notifications that they commented.
Oh.
Now, this is exactly why I was going there for so long.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
You just have to fiddle with it. Already.
Yeah. Here's control room.
Yes, that sounds good.
There, my audio level is higher. Is that too high? Well, maybe there's a way for me to move this over and bring that down. Oops. Well, so has anyone tried to hit the chat button on the top left-hand side of their screen to see if group chat comes up? It says I have 3 viewers. Well, I could I can ask myself some questions and answer them. Tell me, Phil, what's Julie doing today? Julie is, she is eating a piece of leftover pizza from last night's anniversary dinner. We were quite romantic yesterday on our 6-year anniversary and went out with some friends to have New York pizza here in Virginia. It was delicious. And Julie was beautiful as always. They almost had to shut down the restaurant. So many people were saying, look at that beautiful woman. And here she is, folks. See over here.
Hey.
I said hello.
I remember this. What? Like pizza bread?
No. I'm just looking at your beauty. So.
You said hello.
Yeah. So, see if I can maybe move this here and over here. And is there something here?
Try that.
I think that'll start a new one.
Yeah, I went through this several times. Click that box and okay, I got it. Join.
Okay. Join. You're all ready.
Let me just see. Oh no.
Nope. It didn't do anything. Didn't change anything. We're still... Well, so how are you getting comments from people?
I'm doing. This is how I ended up with all 10 or 15 minutes of time when I didn't know it was recording. They're watching me do nothing but click on things.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday.
Well, we are here. We have 6 viewers, and as you can see,
Have you done anything over here?
this is let's see right here. I can type all day long. That's what we need to ask is, can anyone see?
Yeah, they all have already said they can see and hear
Can
us.
anyone see my comments? How's that?
Look, and Lisa Page said she can leave messages now.
Oh, I can see and hear you, and I'm able to leave messages now. Okay.
But we're not.
Don't see a message.
I would just start clicking on stuff, and all of a sudden, bam, it came up.
Settings.
This needs to be more streamlined. Yeah. Well, you just have to start clicking on something.
See,
all of a sudden, you'll go.
This is the chat. There it is. I put hello.
Look, what about this?
It's a question mark.
I know. Well, we have questions.
Question. Keyboard shortcuts and feedback.
Help. Look, do help.
Help.
Oh, here we go. Did you do all this?
Yes. Send and receive messages in the video call. Here we go. Click the video call screen.
Which will be this chat at the bottom.
At the bottom, click chat.
Video call screen.
Click the video call screen. At the bottom, click chat. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
There we are. Video call.
It looked like this. Chat.
We clicked chat. Well,
Listen, they need to love us. Y'all need to love us and appreciate the fact that we're willing to be looking like dummies and videotaped while we're doing it and letting y'all see this. But it's the only way we can figure this out.
This is what I think is going to happen. If everyone can leave us comments in the post section of Patreon, put your questions there and we'll answer them. Instead of it coming up here, it'll come up on the comments.
Yeah, but how do
section.
we know? They can't see what you just wrote.
Well, all I put on was hello. We're talking. They can hear us talk, but they can't communicate with us. So if they just start leaving comments on the post
This is
on
ridiculous.
Patreon, then we'll be able to communicate to each other.
What happens when you put your cursor right there?
Nothing.
What are these 3 dots? What's on the video? We need cameraman. It's so silly. Patreon is like this. It's
Well,
not
Just go ahead and keep refreshing that page, and we'll wait for them to give us some comments. So that it can be a live chat, not just between you
Oh,
and
Jenny
I.
said, "Hey, Julie, see they can hello Phil and Sherry."
Okay.
Oh, that's so
Sherry
embarrassing.
Riley is a new Patreon member. Well, welcome, Sherry Riley.
Welcome to our circus, Sherry.
Right. We are just a few clowns short of a circus here.
I wonder if it's anything down here.
No.
What's that?
Nope. That has nothing to do with this.
Well, somehow.
I think we're going to do it this way.
Okay.
Jenny Stewart said, "Hey, Julie."
Hi, Auntie Jenny. Everybody, we all love our gifts.
Yes, we do.
The babies are getting one gift at a time. And we're watching their reaction to them. Look at this. You have to look right up here.
Yeah. I'm looking at how beautiful your eyes
Ah!
are. Well. All right. So do we have any questions coming up? I'm the same as Jenny. I can see and hear you, but can't talk. That's Karen. I'm back again. Lisa Page. Julie, I wish I had pictures of my poodle camping.
That was when we
Oh, that
first got
was-
started with
okay.
that. Oh.
Okay, so all this is new down here. All right. So we will just continue doing this.
Look, BJ commented. Click on that. Click on that.
Here we go.
Oh, great. It took us to mail. We'll see what happens when we view comments. See if that'll take it. I can see and hear you on my phone, but she can't when she's on her laptop. Go to this, sweetie, and see if that takes us to the chat room. Or, oh, we can. Go ahead, can we?
No. So we will continue right here, and we will wait for you to make a comment on our live link. There's 21 comments.
Okay.
And the last one is from Jenny Stewart. Hey, Julie. So Sherry Riley is new. Again, we want to welcome you, Sherry. We do this live chat once a month, and it is usually no better than this. We're in our late 50s, early 60s, so our grandchildren know better than we do how to do this sort of thing. But and Jenny sent everyone gifts in the mail. We got them just the other day. It was really thoughtful of her, and want to give her a shout out and thank you for those. It was very nice of her. And as I said, if you leave a comment on the post on Patreon, then we can read those comments. And if you have any questions you want to ask, then you can go ahead and ask them. And we have new members, so don't be afraid to ask anything. Sometimes the older members chime in and answer the questions for us.
Phil, you honey, flip around on stuff, all of a sudden it'll happen. And you'll be like, oh wow, just like I do. You just gotta keep clicking on it.
Julie insists if I click on things that somehow, some way,
All of a sudden it'll be like, oh,
all of a
man,
sudden
over
we will
here.
be like,
Sweetie, you got 8x10 frame,
yes,
but it wasn't the one that we knew.
control room. 7 new notifications. That's not it.
Keep clicking. And when you get tired of them, I'm gonna try.
We have some new comments.
I thought it would be easier this time, but
Oh, I thought we had new comments.
All right. Well, do you want to take a break and I'll
I
click
think
around?
we are going to switch seats, and Julie's going to try to work her magic.
Hey, you guys. I was hoping this would be easier this time. Goodness gracious. And here's the same video of me just looking around. Like, it's so embarrassing. If y'all weren't patrons, we would not be doing this. That's the honest truth. YouTube page. And I know y'all are tired of having to go through this every time, too. I'm so sorry. I don't understand why this has to be so difficult.
I keep switching back and forth from YouTube to Patreon. I am from Amelia, Virginia. That's Sherry Riley, our new one.
Oh.
Hello to all. Excited to be here.
So maybe our page. See what's going on. So you would think we could go to our page and click on this live chat.
What are the temperatures where you are? Lisa Page wants to know. We are in the low 90s right now, and we have been for
Look,
past
here it
few
is.
days.
Here it is. All we had to go. Dude, here's the deal. Here's the conversation. They can see us, but
Okay.
we can't see ourselves.
Okay.
So here's the conversation. Look. Hey,
Well, they can hear us.
it's me, Julie. See, watch. Here's the whole conversation. See, Sherry, I kept switching back. There's a load more comments. There we go. Look at everything.
Okay.
Look at this. Okay, I'm going to give you back to Phil. Oh, this is great. So here's the trick. All we have to do is go to our page, our home page, and we come down here and I thought we would click on the chat and it would take us to it, but it's right here. See, our live, it just won't show us a picture of us.
Okay.
So here's the live conversation. That's awesome. I can say, hey, Rosie. Hey, everybody.
Oh, Rosie's here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well,
well, that's cute.
thank you for continuing to try. Hello, Phil and Julie. Okay. What are the temperatures? They are in the 90s. Yes, they're in the 90s. High 90s, as a matter of fact. And let me do something here. There we go.
Did you find something?
I'm just moving it over a little bit so I can
Oh,
kind of
look
see
at
me.
you. You're so smart.
Do this and move this over here now that we know what to do. And
Oh, this is so good.
then, okay, I believe we have done it.
No, good. All right. Now remember, but it's way easier than trying to do it through YouTube.
Yeah. It still is easier than YouTube. Where are we?
Did you see it? Go back down. I saw it.
As long as you see it.
Go. Don't live chat.
There it is. Oh,
Oh, silly man.
bum, bum, bum. Okay. Okay, more questions. When are you doing more patty cake videos? Well, Julie, that is a question for you
Well,
because
isn't
Julie,
Get some time, I will.
Yes, as soon as she can get some time, she will do some more patty cake videos.
And I hesitate, because Patty Cake doesn't have the sense of humor that Casey does.
Yes. Rosie just got here. I'm working for my rescue group today. It's been a little busy. God bless you, Rosie, for being such a sweet person to those animals. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. Karen says she loves that we're willing to be the focus and work to bring us together. Well, and it is a learning process. Temperatures are 90, whatever. Switching back. Cody and Casey are always so well behaved, but I see videos of boxers and I don't know how their houses are still standing when they play. But no. So anyway, Cody and Casey, we have found that boxers tend to adopt the general attitude of the home that they are living in. If you have a lot of crazy kids running around, or if you are very active, young and active, it changes the whole demeanor of the boxer. They kind of adapt whatever their surroundings are. And so we are, as you can probably tell, kind of laid back here at our home. And because of that, the boxers spend most of the time laying around like old hunting dogs. So Sherry Riley is just turning 50 in August. Sherry Riley is still in her 40s. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it. We have someone who's following our page that is still in their 40s.
Oh, no.
Barely, but she's still in her 40s. That Julie is pretty smart. Yes, Rosie. That's why I keep her around. Because she's smart. She just dropped something in the other room, but she is smart. How do your dogs handle the heat? Our dogs, we firmly believe that boxers are not outside dogs. They can't take the elements very well. When it's very hot and when it's very cold, they have trouble dealing with the temperatures. So, and it's because they have that short muzzle. There's a name, Brack something, B-R-A-C-H, anyway. But because of that, because of the short muzzle, they have a hard time handling the heat and the cold.
Like pugs.
Yeah. Okay, Rosie says, the YouTube way is easier to keep an eye on what others are saying and still see you too. This way I have to scroll down away from the picture to read or write. YouTube had the typing on the side, so I never lost the view of y'all. Yes. Rosie is, yeah. Well, we may just go ahead and try it on YouTube next time. In fact, what we're going to do next time is I'm going to spend a little time before the actual chat and get it down pat, so that we can do that. So, Rosie, we're probably going to take that advice of yours. Rosie said 40s. I'm going to be 69 on Friday. Remember, Rosie's birthday is on Friday, everyone. Be sure and drop her a happy birthday note. Let's see, Friday, what is that? July 6th. July 6th. Rosie will be 69, the magic age. And if you follow Rosie and what she does, you would think that she's still 49, maybe even 39. Lisa Page has 3 Shih Tzus who also have trouble with the heat because of their noses. I had a Shih Tzu. He was chocolate colored. We called him Bosco, and loved that dog to death. They are wonderful dogs. But Lisa Page has 3 Shih Tzus. Yeah, and yeah, I remember. Sadly, I remember a story of a neighbor who left their Shih Tzu out on a hot day, and it died of heat stroke. So I think, wow, now Sherry Riley has a birthday coming up too. We're going to start writing these down. Or we're going to, let's see here. Sherry Riley. Is 50. That means Sherry Riley is, yeah, she's still in her 40s. You're in your 40s for just a few more weeks. Happy early birthday to Rosie. And Rosie. August 7th. And Rosie is July 6th. Well, isn't that something? So we have birthdays coming up. Very cool. Let's see, who else do we have here today? Lisa Page, Rosie Flanagan, Sherry Riley, Karen Mahaffey, Rosie Jenny Stewart, Michelle Parsons, no card needed, Julie, says Rosie, for her birthday. And the info I gave you all about the YouTube versus this was just so you would know, not complaining. No, you don't complain, Rosie. We know that. But, yes. So, any other questions anyone might have? We, as you know, we made a few changes to Patreon. We've added a few, new tiers. We're trying to follow the recommendations of Patreon. They tell you to start with just a few, and then after a few months, you add a few, and, you know, when you start getting the swing of things. And Karen Mahaffey just turned 64 on June 7th. People ask me how all this feels. I didn't plan on getting this old. Well, we are glad you made it to 64, Karen. And we enjoy how much you're, how involved you are on the Patreon page. We appreciate that very much. 64. Happy belated birthday, Karen. So how is everyone feeling about the way Patreon is going? I do have to drop out of the live chat, go to comments, then rejoin. Oh boy. Well, yeah, this may not be the best way to do this. Like I said, we'll do it this way this time, but next time we're going to have it down pat so that you can actually see the comments on the right-hand side of the page and still see the screen and see what everyone else is saying. But we're starting to compile photos for our 2019 calendars. I can't believe it's 2019 calendar we're going to be starting to get together already. As you know, we had a calendar last year. We just started, we released the first Casey video just a few weeks before Thanksgiving of last year. And we were overwhelmed with the response. I know the views on Facebook are not in line with the views on YouTube. YouTube counts views differently than Facebook does, but we've had 32 million views on Casey's first video on Facebook, and that's That's pretty awesome. But we immediately had hundreds of thousands of views, and that's why we decided, well, let's start a Facebook page and maybe a calendar, and it's just kind of taken off from there. Julie, you were gone when Karen said she just turned 64 on June 7th.
Oh, my Gemini friend.
Mm.
All my little Gemini twin friends.
Yes. She said, people ask me how this feels. She said, I didn't plan on getting this old.
Oh, my.
That red streak that keeps going past, that's Julie. She's tidying up the place. Lisa Page says, Patreon is a bit challenging.
Yes, it is.
We agree. It's...
but they are working on it all the time.
Yeah, they are working on it, which is good. And they are fairly new. You know, YouTube has been around for, gosh, maybe 15 years or more. So they've kind of got their thing down pat. Patreon, I believe, might be 5 years old, maybe. And they just started very small and have been slowly building. And they're becoming more and more popular. And as they are, they're making improvements. So I can see a big change just in the time we've been using them. We've only been using them, I think, 3 months now. So,
YouTube just gave us the ability, not YouTube, but Patreon just gave us the ability for them to comment on links.
mm-hmm.
And then they came out the next week and showed us a way that we could comment back. So they're working all the time to make it easier and better.
They are. Michelle Parsons said, I had to log off. Did you address the patty cake videos? Yes.
We're doing them when we can.
Yes, we do them as we can. Julie takes the lead with the patty cake videos, and but she also does 99% of the work on Patreon. So she's pretty full with her days, and that's why you don't see as many patty cake videos as. And Julie says that patty cake does not have the sense of humor that Casey does. Rosie said, I sure have enjoyed my 2018 calendar. That's nice to hear. Karen says, I am relocating my dad, who is 97, to a retirement community. As soon as I get him settled, I would love to help with Patreon a bit if you would like that. Oh, that would be great. I just retired as a principal software engineer working in defense. I love to talk recalcitrant software into behaving.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, we would appreciate your help when you do get settled in with your dad, Karen.
There are rewards.
Yeah. Yeah. Rosie Flanagan says, I have a friend in Australia who follows your Facebook page. We're pretty amazed at, we have a lot from the United States, of course, is our biggest fan base, but we have a lot in Canada and a lot in overseas in the United Kingdom, but we have a number in Australia. We even have some in New Zealand. It amazes me how far-reaching these, when you get on YouTube and when you get on Facebook, it's just amazing how worldwide you go. But our growth has been slow on YouTube. We have over 200,000 followers on Facebook, but on YouTube we just plot along, maybe 10 or 12 new subscribers a month, or excuse me, a day. And I think we're over 9,000 now. But that surprises us that there's such a difference between the two. And actually, since Facebook made all of their changes, we don't get near the views that we used to get. We used to get tens of thousands of views on each of our videos. And then Facebook made their supposed improvements, and now we get a few thousand when we post a video. Just so you know, I am only seeing my own comments now, not anyone else's in the last 15 minutes. Well, I wonder what that's all about. Rosie says she's only seeing her own comments now. Maybe, Rosie, if you refresh your page, you'd see the other comments. Lisa Page says, the reason I like Patty Cake is it appears she can be a bit snarky like me. Patty Cake in real life is very snarky. She has quite the attitude. We're actually going through a bit of a problem with her here lately. We don't know why, but she started peeing in the house in different places. She has a little box that she has been going in for years, but all of a sudden she's decided she's going to go on the carpet, and she's testing Julie's patience. But we don't know what it's all about. We thought maybe a urinary tract infection, but she seems to be acting normally, except for the fact that she's decided to be to pee all over the house. Not sure what that's all about. Rosie Flanagan says, I think people don't pay as much attention to the subscribe button on YouTube. Some people don't even know that you can do that. Plus, you have to sign into YouTube, and some don't do that. That's true. That's true. That is true.
Casey could retell them that.
Yeah. We watch a lot of videos that, you know, give you recommendations as to what to do to increase your audience on YouTube, and a lot of them say that you actually have to tell them there's a subscribe button down there, and hit it if you can. And I mean, before I started a channel of my own on YouTube, I never signed into YouTube. I just went to it and searched around for videos. So I can see where that's probably the case.
And Patreon's logo gave us a tiny little button.
Yeah. We're still fairly new at the YouTube/Patreon thing. We've been on Facebook for a while, like most older people. But all this else is new. Rosie Flanagan says, happy early birthday, Sherry. My daughter's birthday is August the 4th. All right, now, 1, 2, 3, here we go. I can truly understand the issue with Patty Cake, says Lisa Page. My one rescue needs to wear a belly bag when I go to work, and if I forget, we are in trouble. Well, our deal with Patty Cake is she's been fine. I mean, she, you know, we worked with her, we showed her where to go, and she would have an accident every now and then, but now it just seems like she's she's just, I don't know what it's all about. Maybe she's making a statement for some reason. Karen says Patty Cake wants to be sure the boys know who the real boss is. She's marking her territory, perhaps. And it's Jenny that sent these gifts, right? Well, Jenny, you'll be happy to know that as we speak, Cody is playing with an orange ball that you sent him. And it's funny, Casey could care less about toys, balls. Every now and then he'll grab something just to play around with Cody, but Cody is obsessed with balls. I don't know why.
Which one of them?
Ever since he was little.
Which one of them took lamb chop off of patty cakes?
Oh, I don't know.
It might have been Casey.
It may have been Casey. But if you're still there, Jenny, again, thank you for those gifts. Casey, or Cody, is enjoying one as we speak. Isn't that right? So, as I said, we're beginning to formulate how we're going to handle the calendars this year. We've had a few recommendations from some of our patrons that, hey, this would be a good picture for the calendar this year. So, Rosie wished a happy birthday to Sherry. Have you thought about a doggy door for patty cake? No, and this is why. We're kind of on the outskirts of town, and behind our neighborhood is a huge open wild area, and we very often have hawks perched in our trees, and as you know, patty cake is very tiny, just a little over 4 pounds. And we've heard the horror stories of small chihuahuas being carried off. So we just don't think a doggy door wouldn't be good for her to, anytime she goes outside, we are with her. We don't want her outside on her own because we're just afraid for her, to be honest, that maybe one of these bigger hawks would carry her off. So that's why we don't have a doggy door for her. I hear someone snoring in the background. Surprise, surprise, it is Casey. Casey's bored with the whole thing, evidently. Let me see if I can show you where he is. Let's see. Ah, yes. And I move this stool over. You can see. Yep, you're on camera, buddy. Oh, he's just going to lay over with that ball in his mouth. And oh, look who's coming along. Hopefully not looking for a place to pee. Yeah. So. Any other questions? We've still got, 10 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes. Anyone else have any questions? Cody had a video this week, as you know. He doesn't make many appearances, but every now and then we let him have the spotlight. We kind of feel like we need to break it up every now and then. And in reality, Casey is a very unusual dog. He's he will sit and stare at the wall. We don't know why he does that, but he's just he's an unusual character. He's very he thinks he's an only child. I think I've told you all that before. I recently saw a jacket you can get for small dogs that has spikes on the top of it to keep hawks away. But I totally understand, says Rosie. I used to worry about my cats when they were younger and smaller. Sherry Riley says, I love the video of Cody running around with the colored ring toy and Julie chasing him. Do I remember that? Yes, the hawk stories are true. My sister had a small cat, and they saw the hawk swoop down and grab the cat. Yeah. So that's why we're so careful with patty cake. But as I said, Casey in reality is not snarky at all. He's, if you walk over to Cody and you pet him for more than just a minute or two, Casey comes over and he starts howling and crying because he wants you to pet him. So we think he's under the impression that he's an only child.
You know what I just thought about?
What did you just think about, Julie?
The news is that we've been letting Cody and Casey sleep with us at night, and that's about the time pancakes started peeping on the floor.
Yeah, that might be it. I didn't think about that. We recently, the boys, the boxers usually sleep out in the living room here in their beds. But for the past week or so, we've had them on and off sleeping at the foot of our bed, in bed with us. And usually it's just me, Julie, and Patty Cake in our bed. And Julie's just saying, maybe that's why she's starting to pee. Lisa Page says, how did you ever start with the Casey videos? I found this app called My Talking Pet, and I saw someone use it, and I just thought it was hysterical. And Casey has a very expressive face to begin with, so I started using that app with him, and I posted a few little quick 15-second videos on my Facebook page, and everybody thought they were pretty hysterical. And then I ended up doing a full 1 minute long video, the one where we were putting Casey on a diet. And I mean, that's how we started doing it. And if we didn't have the response that we did to that first one, we probably never would have continued. It was just a little thing I was doing. And it's actually filled an empty spot for me, because recently I went from working full-time at a job with a bunch of people to working my own business, and I'm alone a lot of the time. And I've always been a bit of a jokester and a prankster and just always trying to make people laugh at work. And I don't have that anymore because I work by myself predominantly. So these videos are a outlet for me to be a smart aleck, I guess. So Rosie says, I haven't seen many hawks out here, but I live in the woods. I have buzzards, though. Yeah, I believe buzzards wait till they're dead to eat them. Hawks, on the other hand, they like their prey live. So, Lisa, that's how we started with the Casey videos. And like I said, if it didn't have the response that it did, after that first 1 minute video of Casey on the diet, I had it on my personal Facebook page. We just got so much response that we just started this new page of Dogs Could Talk, so that I could get all of these people off of my page, my personal page. And it just went nuts. Like I said, we have hundreds of thousands of followers, though since Facebook made their changes, we don't have near the views that we did. So we have Facebook to thank for that, I guess. But it is their platform, and they can run it the way that they want to. So We just have to learn how to get the word out more about Casey. What we do appreciate, though, is every time we post a video, there's literally hundreds of people who will share the video on their timeline. So in that way, Casey does get out there more than he would have. Seeing if there's any more questions. Hit this refresh button. Here we go. Lisa Page says, when I have a challenging day, I find myself going back to the very first video. It makes me laugh the same every time I view it. That one was a classic, that's for sure. And although some of his other ones are kind of funny, they're nothing like that first one. Rosie, I understand where you're coming from, Phil. I'm a people person, and I retired last year. I only go out once a week most of the time, so I miss that contact with others too. I've heard retirement that some people actually slip into a bit of a depression because they just don't have the social contact that they used to. And those who do best with retirement, they actually get involved in activities either through church or some other organization so that they can continue to have that so they can continue to have that interaction with other people. Sherry Riley says, we are Virginia neighbors. I am in Amelia County. Is it any cooler or a breeze up there in the mountains where you are? You probably haven't heard of Amelia. We have heard of Amelia. Yes. I don't know why Amelia Courthouse sticks in my mind. Isn't that the name of a place out that way? But yeah, we have to drive through Amelia County to get to some of our destinations here in Virginia. So we know where it is. We don't go through very often, but now we know we have a friend there. So it's not very cool here, even in the mountains. And we're kind of in a valley. They call it the New River Valley in Roanoke. We have mountains all around, but we're not actually up in the mountains. Though if we do go up into the mountains just outside of town, it's usually about 10 degrees cooler up there. But down here in the village, it's been pretty hot here the last few days. At least it's not high 90s. We had that for a little while, and that's just, I don't understand. Well, we understand why people move to Florida when they get older for their aches and pains and whatnot, but gosh, the heat, I can't imagine a heat up in the high 90s and lower hundreds all of the time. It's just, the older I get, the less I have tolerance for heat myself. So I'm glad I do what I do for a living. I work inside as a metal worker, so I'm glad we're not outside, at least this time of year. In fact, I even go out and do my gardening. I get up, grab a quick bite for breakfast, and I'll spend a half hour or so in the garden before I start down in the shop. Rosie says, I'm not depressed. I just talk my head off when I do go out. Oh, look at that. Sherry Riley is in Amelia Courthouse. So there you have it. we drive through there from time to time. Not often, but from time to time. Beautiful area out there. I mean, it's just gorgeous. We have a few patrons in, she says it's 96 there now. Wow. We have a few patrons in Virginia, not many. We have one up in Waynesboro. I actually used to live in Waynesboro years ago. We have a patron there. We have one in Amelia Courthouse now. And we have one more just a little north of us, if I recall. But we do appreciate our patrons for sure, and it seems to grow a little bit each month. We try not to push it too much. We don't want to be pushy. We know a lot of people, you know, they just can't afford to give their, you know, even a few dollars a month to a Patreon page. But we try to do just one little video or advertisement saying, hey, this is available if you're in a position. But it grows by 4 or 5 patrons each month so far, and it really helps us. It helps us out defraying our costs because, as you know, all of this is not free. It takes time and money to run our pages and make the videos. And of course, Angels of Assisi will be going down there again next week and giving them another check. And we wouldn't be able to do that without y'all's help. So we really do appreciate it. So I guess my question is, are there any other questions? We can stay on here for a few more minutes if anyone else has something they'd like to ask us. We appreciate y'all being here this afternoon. We try to do it on a Sunday afternoon. That way, if some of our patrons go to church, they have time to go. And generally, I don't go. We don't go to church until the evening. We have an evening service. It starts at 5 o'clock, so it's a good time for us to do it on a Sunday afternoon. And we seem to get the best response then. But there's nothing wrong with giving us some feedback if you feel like that's not a good time. I think I'm getting ready to say goodbye because it's been 4 minutes since anybody said anything, and I just asked if anyone else had any final questions. Lisa Page says, thank you both for taking the time to have these chat sessions. Well, thank you for, like we said, we really appreciate our patrons. And we know that not everyone wants to be involved in the chat sessions, but we do know that a number of you do enjoy it. So I try to do one at the end of every month, and Julie, as she has time, has been trying to do some during the week. And as we get this down more to a science, we will maybe be doing it more often. Let's see. Rosie says, thanks to both of you. And Sundays work fine for me most of the time. Okay. Well, that's great. Well, if there are no more questions, we're going to call it a day. It's 3:08. Thank you so much for being here with us and sharing some time with us, asking some questions. And like I said, we'll work real hard before our next chat session at the end of July to really get this down to a science so that we can, we may even do a few dry runs, maybe Julie can during the week, to try to get more of a handle on exactly what we need to do in order to make it run more smoothly. It seems the first 10 minutes of each one, we're kind of messing around trying to get it going. Sherry Riley says, enjoy your evening at church and thank you for your time. I switched today to another Patreon level. Can Julie check when she has time to see if you got that change? Okay, I will let Julie know, Sherry. And again, thank you everyone for being here. And we will talk with you soon. And stay tuned for Casey's wild antics. He'll be back there again on tomorrow evening. Okay, so thanks a lot. We love you. Thanks for being here.